Hello everyone, I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded a video in a while. I've just been really burned out these past couple of months and haven't really built up the urge to upload anything. However, I recently had the idea to make a video where I voice over random documents that I find, and I decided specifically to narrate a short story that I wrote way back in grade 7. And I just want to just give a bit of a disclaimer before I start reading this. I did not make a plot. I did not plan anything. I wrote this all off the top of my head, and that was it. There was no planning, basically. So this story is going to be weird, but that's kind of the entire point. So, without further ado, make yourselves comfortable because I'm going to read you the story of Nedia. Once upon a time, there was a vampire named Nedia. He was annoying and arrogant. He was a vampire of philanthropy and love and greatness. He loved to be immature. He was also arrogant, smart, and also really annoying. Then one day, he decided that his life was empty and full of sorrow, so he decided to go to school. It was bad there. He had to do 1 plus 1, which of course he got wrong because he's not good at math. Next, he had to play dodgeball with vending machine and whoopee cushion, but he was too clumsy, fell flat in his face, and got himself out. After, he angrily stomped all around the school, and got in trouble for floor damage. When he was walking home angrily, he saw a black cat and angrily kicked it, falling into the sky. Then, he got sliced in half by an oncoming plane. He went home and told his mum that he hated school. Instead of letting him quit, however, his mum grounded him and told him to return to school. Then, he got killed by his deranged mother during detention. Then, out of nowhere, a dragon ate the school and the teacher and Nedia's entire family. However, the soul of Nedia then reconnected with his body, and he went on a reign of terror. He killed many Cheerios. He was a serial killer, after all. After breakfast, he decided to go to school. Then he found that the school was no longer there, so he decided to see what would happen if he did go there. But then he got brutally slashed by dragons. He then got eaten, but since he was also secretly a zombie, he didn't die and escaped before the dragon found out. And he decided to go back to school because there was a school elsewhere and get smarter. During his time there, he met Drift, Whoopee Cushion, a Huntress, a Panda, a Little Red Riding Hood, a vending machine, a cat, Daft Punk, a tennis player, a knight, Annabeth Chase from Percy Jackson, a gladiator, a stereotypical nerd, a wolf, Blue Dude, a dead cat, and Jasper. I don't know who that last one is. They became good friends very quickly, but it didn't last for long, as the plane came back and it was riding the dragon. Then the plane exploded and killed all of them but the tennis player, who hit the plane back into the sky. Then he went to court for trial for his survival because he wanted to teach the world about being fabulous. His attorney was a genius, but unfortunately, his accusers were ruthless. They made their case on why Nedia should not stay alive. He was so annoying, and none of them could describe it in words. He could not be trusted because he is an annoying vampire. He also drugged his bison! Unthinkable. Then Nedia fell into a black abyss, and woke up in an abyss of fire and rock. He was in hell. He saw millions upon millions of people just going about their business, not asking him for advice, and being defiant. They seemed happy, and Nedia did not like seeing his subjects doing their own thing. He tried to punch one of them, but then he disappeared, and so did the rest. He was eventually completely alone. Then he saw light, a bright, silver, shimmering star in the sky. He reached for it, and he woke up alive. But he was covered in horse poop, had ivy growing out of his ears, his eyes were inside out, his legs were pointing in random directions, and his nose was missing. He was in shambles. Then a fairy pirate flew by, singing in Portuguese, and then sprinkled some magic fairy dust on him. It smelled of rotten eggs, but tasted of candy. He then ran all over the place, flapping his arms, trying to have people see him. He was fixed, alive, and had a jet coming at him at, a million light years per second. He got sliced in half again, and this time he was quicker to come back than ever. He rushed into the village, hoping someone would see him, but they didn't. One of them stared at him with absolute disgust. Another ran away, her child's eyes covered. One even exclaimed in a sarcastic tone, "Oh, here he is, all hail Nedia, the greatest of the great," with an eye roll to add. Nedia then decided to kill that man. He casually just punched him with a boulder and launched him into a nearby mountain, which probably didn't kill him, but certainly would get him out of his hair. Nedia then got arrested, but decided to just quickly punch the cops into the mountains as well. Then Nedia died again, but saw a demon laughing and laughing and laughing. Nedia found himself suspended above a lava pit, vultures pecking at his heels and all chained by all limbs. Worst of all, he was watching scenes from his life in the perspective of other people in literally every part of the Emoji Movie and B-Movie with even more cringe. Wow! Then, his chains broke while he was over a scene of a close-up, ew gross. He helplessly screamed as he fell into eternal lava, but he did not burn. He was instead forced to suffer the pain of 500 billionth degree burns for the rest of his life. Then he fell into an icy cavern filled with liquid gnomes and flying walrus fighting bison. He got an ice cream, chocolate, and he froze solid. He was forced to see a bison get spin-dashed into by a walrus. Meanwhile, an announcer shouted a very loud, "Death!" It was then that Nedia's ears fell off, but at least he could watch bison fight walrus while having mint chocolate ice cream. Then he got sent into a weird reality where nothing made sense. Dragons with chicken heads, fire that turns into whipped cream, and he had his heads inside out, ears with ivy growing out of them, covered in horse poop. His teeth were shattered, his nose had rock spires growing out of them, and his body parts had blood streaming out of them. 5 devils with bird beaks and bison horns came flying by and made a smoke skywriting that said, "Enjoy your booger burrito." And then he went into the world again, with vultures pecking at his knees once more. Then he went and saw a light, and went into the court again. "What kind of world is this?" he asked. Then he was on trial for his life again. His accusers for him should not go back again were his accusers from last time. They said they died because one of them got shoved into a spear when Nedia wanted all of their money, another one of them died when they got eaten by a shark when Nedia wanted ice cream, and another one died because Nedia basically slapped them in a waffle fryer. Yeah. Then Nedia went into hell and in a 2-foot wide and 2-foot long boxing ring where he fought 1,000 gods for the rest of eternity. The end. So, if you liked that video, please tell me if I should do this again. It would be much appreciated, and I also quite liked reading it. And, I mean, I might just end up reading the other ones anyways. I have quite a few of them. Well, bye, I guess.